welcome to another series, Hanging Out with LadyH. So today we're going to talk about human connections. We're going to talk about friendship. And in friendship, I'm not talking about romantic relationships. I'm not talking about those sexual encounters. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about normal friendship here. And with friendship usually hangs out a lot with jealousy. So we'll kind of address a little bit of jealousy in friendship. So everybody needs a friend. I think most of you will agree with me. The number of friendships someone needs is very subjective, is very varied. Some people need one friend. The introverts just need one friend, a couple of friends they can trust. While the social butterflies need connections, social connections of maybe a bunch of 50 friends, 100, 200. Some of them don't even know them really well, but they're friends. Someone suddenly showing up, oh, I met a friend today. Oh, that's my friend. Oh, you just met them. So those are social butterflies. There's really nothing wrong with that. Fabulous. So a friend in need is a friend indeed. That's what the saying goes. And a need could be when someone is hitting a rock bottom, when you have had this diagnosis of a terminal illness, you need a friend. And a need too can be a time when you need a friend, you want to celebrate the hype of your life, an achievement that you've waited, a long-awaited achievement. You want that friend who shared with you this dream from the beginning to be there for you at that particular time. But sometimes that's not usually the case, especially when jealousy starts creeping in. A need can be faked and it can be genuine. A deed can be faked and it can be genuine. Someone can fake these two things because of undisclosed agenda. Maybe they want to get into your life for a particular reason. They want to get into your life. So they can fake all these things. And how can we know they're faking? Sometimes, some people, can do it really well and we can never know. And sometimes we see the red flags, but we choose to ignore them because we want this particular person in your life. So jealousy in relation to friendship. Jealousy actually is an innate human emotion, an inborn. We're all born with this supposed to be a beautiful thing, jealousy. When jealousy is under control, when it does what it's supposed to do in us, because of this emotion, you're able to guard what belongs to you. You're able to protect what belongs to you. Jealousy, if it's used properly, you can be able to achieve many goals in your life. Even God is a jealousy God. God is a jealousy God. He doesn't like it when we worship someone else besides him, or worship something else besides him. So, unfortunately, jealousy, when it creeps into your life, into your friendship, and it's not controlled, because we are supposed to have an inner regulator to control that emotion. When it's getting out of balance, you're supposed to kind of regulate it and turn it down a little bit. So when it creeps into a relationship, most of the time it ruins relationships. So what are those red flags? What are those signs of a jealous friend? They disengage themselves, especially when you're celebrating a good moment in your life. You're coming to your friend, you're excited, you're like, oh my goodness, finally I got this job. I've applied this job 20 times. Oh my goodness, things worked out this time. I've gotten the job. You start telling them, how the interview went, what you thought. Suddenly this friend whom you thought really wanted you to get this job, they start engaging themselves, texting, changing the subject, changing the channel, doing other things because they don't want to be part of that conversation. And sometimes they do it unknowingly. Or sometimes you will always get a half-baked compliment from a friend, from a jealous friend. They'll say things like, oh, I heard you got the job. That's great. But I didn't know they actually hire people of a low qualification. But that's okay. That's jealous speaking right there. Sometimes you'll see friends who will, suddenly they start drifting away from you socially, especially if you're doing good at a particular time in your life. They start getting busy. They start making other unnecessary social connections. They start, for example, you know very well, for 15 years, you've been friends together. Maybe this particular friend usually hangs out with you. They never have anything to do on every Saturday. They want to find you. You guys hang out, or most of the time, if you guys are not hanging out, they're probably just chilling in their house. Suddenly, they start doing other things. They start looking for other people. They start making themselves busy. They don't want to be there to celebrate with you. You suddenly call them to your daughter's graduation because, for example, for those people who pray, you've been praying for your daughter to finally graduate, to finish high school, to finish whatever it is. Maybe it was a problem child. This daughter has graduated with honors, gotten scholarships to go to a very prestigious, school. On your daughter's graduation, suddenly they can't come. They're busy. Maybe because their daughter didn't maybe have the same achievement like your daughter. They start getting busy. They have all these things, they kind of just get too busy for you. So, and most of the time when this happens to a friend who is jealous of you, you just need to talk things out. Most of the time they don't realize it's happening. They're in a struggle. What they're struggling with, sometimes they're feeling a low sense of self-esteem. They're feeling inadequate. They're feeling you're gonna drift away from them. These are issues that need to be addressed. And sometimes as you are putting across your achievement to your friend, you need to be very sensitive. You need to also watch how you're telling them. Maybe you're rubbing it, maybe you may appear as if you're rubbing it too much. So the bottom line to mitigate this issue of jealousy in a friendship, you need to have an open communication about the things you're observing. You're like, hey, this is what I'm noticing. You know what? I feel like you're kind of being a little jealous. This is how I feel. And if you people truly have a true friendship, those issues will be ironed out. For example, one time, things were looking out for me, and a friend who I had been friends with for a long time told me, you know what, honestly, I'm really happy for you. You're realizing your dream. I was a part of this dream, but I'm jealous. And I'm like, why? Why are you? And they're like, I feel like you're gonna have other friends besides me who, you'll make other social connections. And I had to reassure them and told them, you know what? You will always be my friend. You were there for me when I didn't have anything. You've walked with me this journey until we've gotten where we are today. And I really appreciated that. And I assured them and I told them, you know what? You will always be a part of my life. Unless you choose to walk. Unless you choose to walk. Of course, I cannot force you to stay if you don't want to be in my life. So anyways, that was just a little story. So anyways, that being said, when we have a good communication, we can be able to fix that. And sometimes the jealousy can be very toxic in such cases, especially if communication cannot be able to resolve that issue. You need to walk, you need to leave, you need to go. You don't want to be in a toxic relationship with someone. It's very damaging. It's very exhausting. I hope we all learned something here. We need to watch our relationships because these relationships are supposed to be healthy for our own well-being. Other than that, thank you so much for this while you've been hanging out with me. You're welcome to like my videos. You like to share them if you like. You can share them. And honestly, actually, you guys, subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Bye-bye.